question, start with yours.
Okay, well,
So,
first of all, good afternoon, Pastor.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for allowing us in your house, Motor City Radio. And we're just going to start off with a couple questions. You know, this whole documentary, what they're doing is focusing on Parkside Project, which I understand that you used to live there. You used to reside there.
Absolutely. We moved there, I think it was either 61,
Okay.
after Daniel was born.
Okay.
And so 61 and then 62 BB was born. And then 64 Cece was born.
Okay.
And so 8 of us lived in the
Wow.
Parkside Projects, and not including our parents.
Oh,
And
okay.
then in 1966 we moved, it was July of 1966 to the northwest side of Detroit.
Okay, okay, that's funny because I grew up over there as well. I stayed on the other side on Coke into Jackson.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
My dad grew up in the projects.
See
And that's
there.
when him and my mom met.
Well, you
Romeo
know,
and Juliet tale.
it was beautiful. It was, I remember, because my first school was Alexander Hamilton,
Okay.
and we had to walk, and there was a flower garden
Okay.
right there on Gray and Chalmers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it went from East Warren all the way to, that would either be Chandler Park Drive or Anderton, one of those.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not, but it went the whole block, and the most beautiful flowers.
Yeah, I think so.
And it was gorgeous. The neighborhood was mixed. It
Okay.
was probably more white than black.
Okay.
It was an honor to be chosen to go to that project.
Okay.
I remember right next door to us was this old white couple, and Bobby and Penny, and they moved in after us, but that was a white family, and so it was one of the most beautiful, projects. We knew it as a project, but it was not worn down. It was everyone. We had grass. Everyone took care of their grass, flowers. It was beautiful.
Trying to visualize. Those
I'm
are the
telling
stories
you.
that my dad told me when they were growing up.
Absolutely. It was what I found out later historically, it was one of the first government projects in the country.
Okay.
And so having that, they really put a lot into it. You had your own sprinkler system as waterworks on there. And then please don't talk about Chandler Park. It was beautiful.
Obviously you have like one of the best jobs in the world, bringing souls to Christ and so forth.
Oh yeah, it's out of this world.
Yeah, there you go. All right. And so, but living in Parkside or coming out of Parkside, what experiences, other than some of those you just described, would make you think that, you know what, that contributed to me and what I did?
It was really, I didn't know about the bad Parkside, because when we left, it was still the good Parkside. The Parkside Recreation Center was second to none. The swimming facility, I remember going in. Every summer we would go all summer long. We would do our chores so we could go. The boxing. That's when I knew I had some skills, but I was around 7, 8, and I'm in the ring, and this guy, his name was Milton, because we went to school together, and I was jabbing, moving, and he closed his eyes and swung and caught me and knocked me out. That was it for my boxing.
Some of the first thing that comes to my mind what you're saying is that what that means in my mind is that we need to bring back that type of sustainability to the community. We need
Absolutely.
to bring back those activities, that type of lifestyles, because that obviously is contributing. That's a known factor contributing for later on in life, making great things happen. So,
We didn't see back then many. We would look because they had vine up on the fence, but we would look in and see the golfers, and most of them were Caucasian, and they would golf. Of course, golf didn't make sense to us. And the rec center, going in and swimming, and having to take a shower before you could get in the
Right,
pool,
exactly.
and then having the man rub your skin, and then
See if
send
it's
you back in the shower.
Wow.
All of that happened, and I remember putting on my little tag, which was my locker key, putting it around your foot, and then jumping in the water. It was my oldest brother, David, was a Boy Scout. They had that. My older brother, Ronald, was a Cub Scout. I mean, they had all kinds of activities.
Those are things that count. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, because I'm looking at, I didn't realize, I knew they had swimming, because I used to go swimming as a child, but I'm gonna tell you how old I am, but I used to go swimming, but I didn't know they had the basketball court, I didn't know they had the boxing, I didn't know they had.
Baseball diamonds.
Yeah, I didn't know that, ice
and,
skating.
Yeah, ice skating.
Goodness.
My father ice skated. We didn't ice skate. But we did, the swings were wonderful. You would get up in the morning and just go to the park just to be the first to get on the swing.
Okay.
And when the cherry blossoms and apple blossoms would bloom, it was just beautiful just to walk. And we go in the garden, folk be in there kissing. We'd hide behind and say, ooh, and then they stop. I mean, it was a community.
I can go into the Parkside Homes, has much historic value, as we all know, noted for providing homes post-World War. I didn't know that they provided homes for the war veterans, did you know? Oh my goodness, landmarks, Memorial War Cannon.
I was getting ready to say, there was this cannon right on Connor.
Okay.
And the park went all the way from Chalmers all the way to Connors.
Oh my goodness, okay,
It was a park area.
okay,
But we would go just jump on the cannon.
okay.
It didn't make no sense, but
Right.
we did it. And come back and get on the swings and make a fire. They had the different grills
Okay.
where you could go and grill, in the park.
Yeah.
They still have that.
Well, they
for
start
everybody.
bringing it back. They kind of
Yeah.
redid the park up further now.
Okay.
And so now it does have the little section and you can grill and stuff. So that wasn't there for a while. Though. They
Okay,
just
because I
started.
remember being there as a child.
Yeah.
Now, you know they have the picnic every year. Have you ever attended the picnic?
Never attended the picnic.
In August, I believe it's in August. Do you plan on attending this year?
I don't know.
Depending on what's going on.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
gotta
depends on
get
what's
you
going
there.
on.
We gotta get you there. It's fun time. People bring their children. They have food going down. I know I'm going there this year.
I understand they turned it into like townhomes or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look. Pretty much.
Where you condos, that's what it was.
It looks nice, and then they got the aquatic center. That's still open. I
Yeah,
believe.
oh yeah.
And that's
Open up.
beautiful.
They struggle with contracts every year, who's gonna run it, but
Okay.
it's there and it ends up opening every year.
We would go, to City Airport and watch the planes take off.
Okay.
There was right on Connor, well, right at the shopping center, it was Federals and Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I was just gonna ask you what was on that corner at
Yeah.
that time.
Sparkman, there was Top Hat.
Top Hat was right there.
Top Hat was right there on Warren and Connor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we would hold our breath every night, coming home from church, hoping Daddy would stop at Top Hat to get a bag of 5-cent hamburger.
Yeah.
Ah, Sam.
All right.
Oh, absolutely. It was highway robbery when it went to 10 cents.
Oh my goodness.
And every year, they would have a carnival during the
I
summer.
remember the carnivals.
They would have the carnival, they would put up the witch's house and a roller coaster and all
I
that.
remember the carnival. I used to go as a child.
It was great. Then the support that happened, there was this, the church may be there, but I remember it being Assembly of God Church. It was a large church. And they would have Vacation Bible School.
Okay.
And we would go there. There was Parkside store right there on Warren. And, I never stole anything in my life, but I did steal.
Oh, goodness. You wait till our show to review it
It's all
faster.
good.
But you have
It's
to
a family
understand.
You
You
wanna
have to
be real
understand.
about it.
Right.
You have to understand what happened. It wasn't a malicious thievery.
Okay.
I was hurt.
Okay.
We had babysitters, and her name was Gwen. And she was giving out gum.
Okay.
And when she got to me, she didn't have any more gum. So I said, that's not right. And I was crying, and I said, that's okay, I'm gonna go get me something. I'm gonna go get me some gum. So I walked up to the Parkside Project, to the drugstore. And when I got in, I changed my mind. I don't want no gum. I got a Twinkie. I got a Twinkie and a teen.
Oh, Lord.
Pop. And I just walked out. I mean, Miss, what you doing? I said, I don't have any gum. I didn't-
The right place to go.
I didn't even run. It was, in my mind, I was not stealing. I was bringing equity to a situation.
Right. If you're gonna do it, you might as well do it big.
Right.
Jump from
He
gum.
said, what you get? I said, I just went to the store and got it. Because y'all should not have run out
Right,
of
gum
gum.
for me, that's right.
Okay.
There was another neighbor, and he was a lot of fun. He was a hometown celebrity.
Okay.
Played for the Detroit Pistons. His name was Reggie Hardy.
Okay.
Did y'all ever heard of Reggie Hardy?
Unfortunately.
Right, yeah, I do my research, so I
He
believe
was,
it
he
here.
was almost 7 feet.
Okay.
And he would come to the Parkside Projects, and man, he was a giant. He
Oh,
might have been
goodness.
just 6'7", but he was. Look up Reggie Hardy,
I will.
and yeah. So I remember the first year that we left. Bobby and Brian, they were white little kids,
Okay.
and my nickname was Peanut. Is me. And man, I said, Bobby, when we came in, he said, Peanuts! And ran, and we just embraced and hugged. But that was probably the last time.
Okay.
Because we had a lot of people that lived in that neighborhood from my great-grandfather's church, which was on Mack and St. Albans. And so it really was a community
Yeah.
of people. And those are the memories I have.
So that makes me think, with so much has changed over there, obviously. Crime had increased over the years. With the economy of Detroit and what has happened, a lot of the homes around that area had either got gutted or they've disappeared now or what have you. For those young people that are living there now, because obviously a lot of folk, when you're in a position like you are, a lot of folk look up to you whether you want them to or not. That's just how it is. But for those young people, what message would you have for them? Because we do a lot of mentoring. Kenny is actually one of my partners on our nonprofit, and we do a lot of work with these young guys, 12 to 18 years of age. What would you say to them in regards to, I know
Well, I think you hit it on the head at first, as it relates to the city. The reason Detroit, and during that time, we have to understand that Detroit was the 4th largest city in America. Okay? It was New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and then Detroit. And we would fight with Philadelphia. But we were like 1.2 million, almost 1.5 million in the city.
population.
The population. And the reason that is because you had Bud Wheeler right there on Conner. You had the Jefferson Plan. And all of those homes, all of those single home dwellings were built and occupied by folk that worked.
That worked.
Yeah.
They had jobs.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Excuse me. When you remove from a community its ability to sustain itself, and then you erode the tax base of a city, which is a corporation, you have no way to keep up those services.
Yeah.
So people are left to their own meanderings. You have children that think up stuff to do because there is no employment, there is no job, there is no place to go. No one can volunteer, no one, because they're trying to sustain themselves.
Right. can't focus on volunteering if
No,
you're broke. 'Cause-
you can't.
That's
You
true.
can't have the Boy Scouts.
Mhm.
You can't have the Cub Scouts.
Mhm.
You know, and in the climate and culture that exists, uh, what I would say to black folk is that we can't be afraid of ourselves.